Assalamu alaikum. We will have these videos addressing the question of Palestine and its roots, or the roots of the Zionist settler colony. Everyone knows what happened, what's happening now in Gaza. Some people trying to link it to what happened on October 7. But to consider that history starts with October 7, it does not help us in understanding what's going on. This is because the conflict goes beyond than October 7 and even beyond than 1964 when the PLO was established. It goes back to 1948. Even what happened in 1948 has also its own roots. So these roots need to be studied carefully. One person would ask, what are we getting out of this? Upon studying this issue from its roots, we can realize the following. The whole problem is a European colonial power. They wanted to have a base in the region, in what is called now in the Middle East. And the Zionist settler colony is the product for that. And of course, the conflict that resulted is a product for that. The other point, we will realize that anti-Semitism appeared first in Europe, as Ben-Gurion acknowledged, and we'll see throughout this videos. The third point, the religious arguments were used to build rationale for the project and to motivate people to join this project. Keep in mind that we'll see that most Zionist leaders were atheists, and most, of course, were seculars. So we are going to discuss the following points. First of all, brief introduction, then Palestine in the Bible and the historical rights, then the foundation of Zionism, Herzl and Jablonski. Then we'll talk about the Jewish migration, and we'll talk about Zionism as a Western-backed colonial project. We'll talk about Palestine under the British mandate, and then Israel as a replication of the United States of America, and after that a conclusion or thinking beyond Zionism. We need to realize that Palestine was mentioned in many books of our literature, Muslim literature, and even in the Torah. It is mentioned in Qur'an as the Holy Land, but also it is mentioned explicitly in books of tafsir, like the work of the Andalusian scholar Abu Hayyan, Al-Bahr al-Muhit, and books of fiqh such as Al-Fatawa al-Khairiyya by Khairuddin al-Ramli, books of history like Tarikh Dimashq, History of Damascus by Ibn Asakir, Tarikh al-Quds wal-Khalil by Mujiruddin al-Hanbali. But when they talked about Palestine, they are not talking about Palestine within the current borders. The current borders took shape after Sykes-Picot and the British mandate. We'll see as an example that here I have two maps. To the right is the map of Palestine and Great Syria during the Ottomans. As you notice that the borders don't correspond to the current borders. You'll see that the red line defines Great Syria, and then there is a cross line goes from the Mediterranean to the southeast, and below this it's called Jerusalem district, Mutsarrifiyat al-Quds. So you notice that it includes part of what is now Palestine and what is now part of East Bank. Amman, the capital of Jordan now, is part of that. And then to the north, you'll see another division. It's called Wilayat al-Sham. It has parts of Syria, part of Jordan, and parts of Palestine. To the left side, this map appeared in 1917 in an article written in New York Tribune by Isaac Levy. You notice that the shadowed portion has Palestine, and it goes from Gaza to the Dead Sea. It doesn't include what is known now Negev Desert that extends all the way to the Gulf of Aqaba. So when we talk about Palestine, we should think of it from this perspective. And later on, you'll see two maps. To the right, you'll see Sykes-Picot Agreement, which was in May 16. You'll see that Palestine is the red zone, and it was set under both British and French and Russian protection. And you'll see the color code shows us which are British influence, which are French influence, which are Russian influence. But you'll notice that Palestine also then, in 1916, didn't take the current shape. Very much similar to the map that is shown in the New York Tribune. And you'll see a small part within the red part that includes today's Haifa and Akka. That is considered part of pure British rule. To the left, you'll see the borders now are taking shape as we have them today. After creating this nation state setup, you'll see Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Jordan or Transjordan, and Palestine. So this tells us that the current borders are product, like we said earlier, of Sykes-Picot and the British Mandate, which happened after the First War. There is a statement said by Ilan Pappé about studying history. He said that the historicization of what happened helps Israel pursue genocidal policies in Gaza. So the point is that we need to study its history. We cannot dehistorize it. We cannot ignore its history. Studying history is very important in understanding what's going on, as we'll see. This is the November 5th article after the invasion or the attack on Gaza started. And he is very opponent of the Zionist colonial settler movement. He is a Jew, he's Israeli, but he works in Britain. So having said that, we'll wait for the second video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.